Yes guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be going over the trade that we took that secured us 93 handles in profit on the Nasdaq.
What trade?
What a fucking banger. What have I been telling you? One trade and we're back. One trade and we're back. And the trade we also took the Monday just gone.
Order filled.
Cheeky.
Bang. There we go, boys.
I went in track zero as well.
And previously, before those two trades, we were down around 50 handles on the month. The first 2 weeks were both losing weeks. However, we took one winning trade, which was around 44 handles. And a second winning trade, which was again 40 handles. So that took away 88 handles worth of losses. So that only left us with a minus 50 handle loss. Therefore, when we secured 93 handles, that put us up around 45 handles on the month. And then we took another win on Monday, which was around 20 handles. So it puts us quite comfy up on the month, from which started pretty slow. But it's to show you guys that by sticking to the model and actually being consistent and disciplined and having belief in your system, that you will come out on top, even if you have a slow start to your month. So let's get straight into it. I trade daily on Discord every single day, so if you want to be included in that, the link will be in the bio. It also comes with a one-to-one mentorship between you and myself every single week, and we do a group backtesting session on the weekends as well. There's also a free group that you can join with other members, so if you do want to be involved in that, the link will be in the bio. If you want a prop firm where you can secure more capital, or you're new to the trading space, especially futures, then on Alpha Futures, use code ASH10 and you'll get a discount at the checkout. Right, so first things first, coming into session, we're marking out all of our liquidity levels. So I'm going to do that real quick for you guys. Got London highs, London lows and Asia lows all marked out. Coming into the New York Open, what can we see? We can see that ES has taken London lows and Asia lows. But what can we see on NQ? It hasn't taken those points. Therefore, we have a bullish S&T. So that is one confluence for price to move higher. We have that higher time frame sweep of liquidity. That our overall bias as of now is going to be bullish. Into macro, we can see that we had a sweep of this short-term low right here. We can start to see that we have a clean displacement higher on both NQ and ES. So that's something that I really like to see when I'm taking positions. I like to see displacement on both NQ and ES. So that means a candle closure above or below a swing high or a swing low, or a short-term high or a short-term low, depending if I'm going long or short. And what can we see? We can see that we have this bearish order block that gets inversed and turns into a breaker block. So we have a breaker paired with this fair value gap right here. We can see that. So what can we see so far? We can see that we're currently inside of macro. Prices come lower, swept London lows and Asia lows, and we haven't on NQ. Therefore, we have a bullish S&T. Then we've got a sweep of a short-term low on both NQ and ES, and we're starting to see a displacement higher through the most recent short-term high on both NQ and ES as well. And we've inversed this bearish order block, turning it into a breaker. So we have a fair value gap paired with a breaker. So preferably, I'd want to see a tap on this entry, but on the day, I believe I actually took an entry off of this gap right here, first presented. Because of the stop placement, I actually ran it just below this gap right here, 42 handles, and then I ran my TP at London highs for 93 handles. And then this halfway point here, that would be my break-even point. So let's see if we get a tap off this gap. Alright, so there we have it. So I'll be entering long there, and I've got my stop just below this gap, and my TP at London highs for a 1 to 2. So even though the stop placement is more than I'd like to risk, I still have a TP of a 1 to 2. This first short-term high, but that's where I would trail stops. Alright, so there we have it. We can see that price has taken the trailing point and break even. So I'm going to be risk-free there on this trade. And there we have it. Final TP got smashed, and we secured 93 handles on the day. It was an absolute banger. I mean, we were trading the exact same model for the last 2 weeks. Some things weren't playing out, and you know, we had 5 break-even trades, 5-6 losses, and the losses weren't even that big. We're talking 12 handles here, 10 handles there. And overall, we only were in a 50 handle loss, so that one win recovered all of those losses, along with the other 2 trades we had won, so that was around 88 handles. plus this one. So it completely destroyed those losses plus profit. And that's how you become profitable in the long term, guys. I wasn't worried. I knew exactly what it was I was doing. You know, I was putting in the maximum amount of inputs. I took the best trades I could possible on a day. And if they weren't working out, they weren't working out. But I know eventually that a setup's going to play out. It's going to make all of that back plus on top of whatever it is. And then you continue. And that's how you become profitable, guys. So I was up on the week, Tuesday the 16th. And then we took this win on Thursday the 18th. We took no trades on Friday. There wasn't anything to take. Coming into the session for Monday at lunch macro, because look at this, the first 2 AM macros are terrible. There was absolutely nothing in this chart. What I could see was that we were pushing the whole day. The whole day was pushing and we were trading at all-time highs. So when trading at all-time highs, you basically just want to be bullish until you're not. So what my idea was, there were no opportunities for shorts. The overall bias was neutral. There was absolutely nothing to take, zero. But what I could see was that after we've taken session liquidity, any 15-minute high or low is considered a liquidity sweep for me. But obviously I'll take initiative and see which ones actually make sense or don't. So what we can see here is we have this 15-minute low on Nasdaq and ES, and we can see that it's been swept on both of those assets. So I've marked these points out as minus sell side. And what can we see with these points on minus sell side? They're paired inside of a 15-minute bullish gap. So coming into lunch, there's absolutely nothing to trade. The conditions were terrible. So I was thinking, alright, we're gonna have a no trades day. Then suddenly, bang, we have a displacement higher on both NQ and ES. It's a very nice sharp displacement through. We got this short-term high and this short-term high here. And we can also see we have an SMT from this short-term low. So this short-term low hadn't got swept on NQ, but we can see it had on ES. So that's another confluence. In terms of taking this trade, and if we're going into any imbalances, yes, we do have a bearish SMT on the 5-minute time frame, not going into any 5 or 15-minute gaps. So there's only one confluence going against this trade. So going long off of this position, and this is the only point of buy-side liquidity we can actually take. This is the only one. There's no more data. Like, look, that is all-time highs. So that was the only high we could target, but it still offered a 1 to 2. So we had our stop just at this short-term low for 9 handles with a 20 handle TP. So I can't. So just a tap off this gap, we were in for longs. There we go. And then we got stops at these lows. TP at the high. And this is 50% of the range from entry and TP, so this will be our risk-free point. So let's see what we get in this trade. So price came down and then swept this short-term low. After we got this sweep, it should be driving price higher. And there we go, so we were risk-free there. And just like that, guys, we were fully out. I don't know why I didn't trigger the TP, I swear I placed it. But there we go. We were all out there and price actually continued to push higher. So yeah, that could have been definitely a better day. I would have gone obviously for more if there was more buy side liquidity, but there was nothing. You're literally, anything past all-time highs is just straight gambling. Like, you don't know what you're targeting. It makes no sense. Unless you were waiting for ES, but that makes no sense because in my system I close out if ES takes final objective, but when NQ takes TP, then it obviously takes TP. So yeah, there you have it, guys. So from those 2 trades combined, it was around 113 handles, which is very nicely done, especially considering that before that 93 handle trade we were down around 50 handles on the month. So there you have it, guys. Even on a bad month, this is now, I'm closing out my 4 this week. When we finish, I'll be closing out 4 months in a row in profit, guys. So I'm not gonna win them all, but you gotta be prepared for the storm. And when the storm comes and you get through that, you're fine. And you just go on and trade consistently and see what you're presented. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this breakdown. And again, if you do want to watch me trade live each day, the link will be in the bio, and use code ASH10 for Alpha Futures if you do want to secure yourself some evals. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I'll see you in the next one.